Welcome back to the channel. Today we will be doing a full first round mock draft. Just a reminder that I'll be live streaming the first round of the draft on Thursday, April 28th, and I'll be giving away $25 to one subscriber. Let's get into the mock. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, let's jump into the 2022 NFL mock draft. I'm going to go through all 32 teams. I will give minimal feedback on each pick. I just want to give you who my prediction is for that pick, and then I'd love to get your reaction down in the comments. Which one did I nail? Which one did I completely screw up? How have I sent your team into the toilet for the year? Let me know, and let's talk about it in the comments. But thanks for being here, and let's get into it. Number one overall, there's a lot going on about Trayvon Walker, but it's going to be Aiden Hutchinson. I think that he's the number one overall pick. However, I do think Trayvon Walker has moved up to number two. He's going to be picked over Kayvon Thibodeau. I think that he had a less impressive combine and is just starting to move down a few boards. Number three overall, for the longest time, I thought it was going to be Kyle Hamilton. However, I think it's going to be Sauce Gardner. I think he has moved up to be the top defensive back in the draft. Number four here is Kayvon Thibodeau's spot. He's going to go to the Jets. They get their pass rusher, and they're probably glad that Kayvon got to drop. Number five, with the Giants, it's either going to be Ikem Ekwonu or Evan Neal. I'll be honest, there's probably a little bit of homer in me. I'm an NC State fan. I'm going to give them Ikem Ekwonu. Number six, here's our first quarterback. So it's either going to be Malik Willis or Kenny Pickett. I'm going to choose to believe the hype that Kenny Pickett was recruited by Matt Rule when he was at Temple. He's going to be the pick here. Moving on to number seven, the Giants are right back up on the board. They went offensive line in the first. I think they go defensive line with the second pick. They're going to end up with Jordan Davis, D-tackle out of Georgia. He is just a stalwart in the middle, and I don't think I've ever used the word stalwart unless it was to refer to a defensive lineman. So number eight overall, Jermaine Jackson. We're going to go with Jermaine Johnson. Jermaine Jackson, I believe, is part of the Jackson 5. Jermaine Johnson to the Atlanta Falcons. They get a pass rusher. They, as well as the Seahawks, who are up next, are two possibilities for quarterback, but I think that they're going to play it smart. They don't love any of these players, so they're going to wait until next year to get one of the studs that are probably going to end up being top three picks. Number nine, the Seahawks are probably going to be thrilled that Evan Neal has dropped to them here. I don't know how likely that actually is, but if he's on the board at 9, I think they sprint to the podium to get that pick in. Number 10, the Jets, they are going to get a wide receiver. And, there's a lot of differing opinions on who's the best wide receiver in the draft. A lot of people are saying Garrett Wilson. It was Drake London for a period of time. Jameson Williams would have been the number one overall wide receiver if he didn't get injured. So, we'll just see where they land. I'm personally going to go with Garrett Wilson. I'm going to agree with this board right here and give them Garrett Wilson. Here goes another wide receiver. I think with, I don't know why I left that page. The Commanders are going to end up getting a wide receiver as well. They need a weapon opposite Terry McLaurin, and I think that they're going to go Drake London. He is a complete opposite. He's a Mike Evans type, big body, high point the ball. It's going to be great. Number 12 overall, to the Vikings. They're going to sprint to the podium and grab Derek Stingley Jr. If you watched my Vikings video, I mentioned that if he was there, I think that he is the pick. Number 13 with the Texans. This, to me, especially if they end up trading Brandon Cooks, they're going to need another wide receiver, but they could use one anyway. I think they go with Chris Olave, get a wide receiver that can come in and contribute right away. 14, we've got the Ravens. They can go defensive line or offensive line. To me, it's going to be Charles Cross. He's great value right here and should be able to come in and start immediately. With the Eagles, they've got 2 picks in the next 4. I think they could go defense for both, and that's how I'm projecting it, I believe. But we'll see how things fall. At number 15, I think that they're going to go grab George Karlaftis. Let's do George. Pass rusher right there. Number 16 with the Saints, I've got them taking a wide receiver. They need a weapon, opposite Michael Thomas, and I've got them taking Treylon Burks. I think that makes a lot of sense there. At number 17, Chargers are up. They want to protect their franchise quarterback, Trevor Penning, offensive tackle out of Northern Iowa. Eagles right back up on the board. Kyle Hamilton just can't drop anymore. He might be their pick at 15, but he just can't drop anymore. It's unfair, and I feel bad that he's still there at this point. With the Saints, they also need to protect their quarterback. That offensive line was not their strength, so we're going to give them Tyler Smith. Might be a little bit of a reach, but position of need, and he is still a high-quality player. At number 20, the Steelers get their man. Malik Willis is there. I think there's a chance that they trade up to get him. at some point in the draft, but, this is where it's going to land for here. I'm not projecting any trades. At number 21, we've got the Patriots, and I think if Jameson Williams is there, that's the pick. They sprint up there, and then the Packers are extremely mad about that. At number 22, the Packers, they probably would have taken him. But let's see what we've got left on the board. We've got Christian Watson and Jahan Dotson. You know what? I think they take one of them. Let's give them Jahan Dotson. I think that's what we're going to end up doing there. They need a wide receiver because they don't have any. And so that's where we are. To the Cardinals, they need a pass rusher because they let Chandler Jones go. And we've got Ebikete and Ojabo. Ojabo's likely not going to play for the entire year. And you know what? To me, the Cardinals are a team that can risk that a little bit. So I think they get Ojabo, and they've got basically 2 first-round picks next year then. The Cowboys are in at 24. I think that they're going to look strong, long and hard at wide receivers. Not anything that I think that they'd take right here, though. Let's look at in the middle. I think that Kenyon Green. I like Kenyon Green right there a lot. He's a high-quality pick. They need to bolster the interior of their line. The Bills are up next. I'm going to give them a corner. And so let's see what corners we have left. We've got Andrew Booth Jr., and we've got Kyer Elam, and we've got Trent McDuffie. I think Trent McDuffie is honestly the best out of those 3. I don't know why he's ranked the lowest on them. I'm going to go Trent McDuffie right there. At 26, we've got the Titans. There's a couple things that they could go. I've seen projections with them getting a quarterback here. I don't know that that's the move. To me, I think they go defense and one of these two, Devin Lloyd or Nakobe Dean. I'm going to give them Nakobe Dean. I think that that's a good pick for them. He's a high IQ player and can be the voice on that defense. At 27, I'm going to give Zion Johnson to the Bucs. They want to keep Brady upright, in his old age. And right back to the Packers at 28. I think that they're going to go edge rusher, and I'm going to give them Ebikete. They got to replace Smith that they let go over to their rival in the Vikings. So that's where he lands there. Back-to-back picks now with the Chiefs. I think that they need a wide receiver, and they need some help in the secondary. Let's go wide receiver. I've heard a lot of good things about Christian Watson. I can't say that I know a ton about him, but I've heard good things, so I think he could be one of their 2 picks here just to get him for that 5th year. He may be worth a second-round pick more so, but getting a wide receiver with that 5th-year option is pretty solid. And at 30, we're going to go to the defense. I'm going to look safety, and we're going to give them Daxton Hill. He's very versatile, and he could play that honey badger role. At number 31, let's see here. It's going to be a tough one. I just don't know that I can see. They don't need a linebacker so much. Andrew Booth Jr. is a possibility. I just don't know that I can see them letting Devin Lloyd drop more than that. I know positionally it doesn't make a ton of sense for the Bengals, but his talent is so great right there. In 32, it's the Lions. I got some flack on this for the first time I did it, but I'm going to give them a quarterback. I think it's either Matt Corral or Desmond Ridder because at 32, it's just such a good spot to take a quarterback because you get that 5th-year option like I mentioned earlier. I'm going to give them Desmond Ridder. And so that is our mock draft. I'm going to scroll through it so that y'all can see. I struggled with a couple of these picks. Got to admit, I don't know how Devin Lloyd's going to drop that far. Roast me for that one for sure. But this is the mock draft, and we'll see how it goes. But let me know what your picks would be in the comments for your favorite team, and I'll see y'all next time.